Hi YouTube, Lee Culver here from Lee Culver Hair Design. Just doing a follow-up video from the previous video about primary colours, secondary colours, tertiary colours, and determining what colour your client would like to be and what you're taking out of the hair, what you're putting back into the hair. This video is going to tell you how to select a colour for your client. What are the rules to follow? There's only really 4 main rules to follow when you're selecting a colour for a client. When she walks through the door, bearing in mind this video is not about colour correction, so for the purposes of the tape, what they used to say on the bill, the client walks in with virgin hair, she's never had her hair coloured, it's natural. You're starting there. Those videos will follow. They are a little bit more in depth if the client has got a problem on her hair or her hair has been previously tinted. For the purposes of this, her hair is virgin. My 3 strands of hair have never been coloured, so this is virgin hair, unfortunately. I mean, look at it. But it's very light, so it's about a level of an 8 or a 9. So you can see that because there's nothing else on it. I've got no regrowth. All you can see is scalp. So on your colour chart, you should have a thing that looks like this. This is movable. This has got Velcro on it. This is a sliding scalp. So you'd hold this up to your client's hair. A bit like when you have your teeth bleached. Not that I've ever had that done. They check what shade of my teeth. About 9, a dirty 9. So my hair, as it goes up like it starts to blend in with the colour swatch. That's how you check the colour. So it's not here, more these colours. That's a 9 or a 10, or between those 3 colours there. That's how you determine the depth. So rule number 1, how light or how dark is she? Bear in mind, ignore this one, this is grey. So that's 1 darkest, 10 lightest. Between this scale, where is your client's hair? So how light or dark? Don't look at colours. We're not looking at colours, tones, pigments. We're looking at how light or how dark. So once you've done that, that's rule number 1. So how dark is she? Great. So rule number 2, you've got to determine how light or how dark would your client like to be. So is she here, hoping to go here? Or is she really light, wanting to be really dark? Or is she somewhere in the middle? Would you like to be just 1 shade darker, 1 shade lighter? So rule number 2 would be, where would your client like, how would she like to leave the salon? Preferably with hair still on the head, but you never know, Sinead O'Connor might come in. How much pigment, how much light or dark does she want to leave with? Does she want a solid colour? Does she want a highlighted effect? That'll all come with that question, with rule number 2. What effect are you going for? How light or how dark? Once you do that with your client, it breaks it down with her. She makes her feel a bit more at ease. Okay, it's as simple as, I am this colour, I would like to be this colour. This is how dark I am, this is how light I would like to be. That's rule number 1, rule number 2. So rule number 1, how light or how dark is she from the starting point? Rule number 2, how light or how dark would she like to be? That's rule number 2. Rule number 3, what tone? What tone would she like to be? Would she like to be sort of this colour but like a reddy browny colour, mahogany? Would she like to be like a pearly colour? Some examples here. Would she like to be ice white blonde? Does she want to be coppery blonde? Or strawberry blonde? Does she want to be a light chocolatey brown? Does she want to be like a mid brown, very flat brown, cool brown? Does she want to be warm? Does she want to be cool? Does she want black hair? Does she want blue black hair? Oh, upside down. Does she want to be reddy copper? Or does she want to be pillar box red? It's all about tones. They're actually the same depth. Different tones. It makes a huge difference to somebody's skin tone and eye colour. That colour might not suit her, and vice versa. So you need, that's the tone. So that's step 3. What tone would she like to be? Step 4 would be, how are you going to get there? What are you going to mix your permanent tints with? So I've got permanent tint here, Matrix So Colour Beauty. Get it up the right way, Lee. What am I going to mix that with to achieve the effect? So what developer strength am I going to need? Am I lightening her hair? Am I darkening her hair? Am I staying, is she already a level of a 6 and you're adding copper? Are you just adding tone? So you need to understand, before you even pick your tint, you need to know how much lift are you going to how much are you going to lighten her hair, how much are you going to darken it. Once you've got them in place, it's quite easy to select the colour because you select the correct shade. That will come in another video. So again, rule number 1, that's a thumb. Rule number 1, how light or how dark is she? It's on the scale. How dark is she? How light is she when she walks in? Rule number 2, that way around. How light or how dark would she like to be? What is the result she's looking for? Does she want to be sort of Jennifer Aniston? Does she want to be like a caramel brown? Does she want to be Catherine Zeta-Jones? Does she want to be Naomi Campbell? Does she want to be Lady Gaga? You know, use words like that. Use people in the media, because it's really easy to say, bring me a picture, but most people could quite easily pick a celebrity on offhand and say, I like her hair colour. I like Carol Vorderman's colour. You know, it's as easy as that. So how light, how dark is she? How light, how dark would she like to be? What tone would she like to be? Again, the pictures, what is she? Ice white blonde, a reddy blonde? You know, is she a warm brown, a cool brown? Is she black? Is she blue black? There's a slight difference in that. Is she a red copper? A red red? And so on and so forth. What tone would she like to be? And then, what level of peroxide would you need to put with the tint? Before you chose your tint, you need to decide what strength you're going for. Is it going to be 40 volt, 30 volt, 20 volt, or 10 volt? Or even, are you just adding tone? Are you just tone on tone? Are you staying the same level and just adding colour? Again, videos on these will come later. I'm going to do a follow-up video to that, just to break it down to you. So the four rules of colour. What colour is she? How light or how dark is she? Number 1. Number 2, how light or how dark would she like to be? Number 3, what tone would she like to be? What colour? What tone? I said that about 3 times there. And number 4, what strength of developer are you going to use? So I hope I've been informative. Please subscribe, and I'll put some more videos up soon. So cheers, over and out. Bye.